right, everyone. So welcome to today's presentation. My name is Tiffany Ciprian, and I am one of the clinicians at CAPS. I also oversee outreach and prevention. And today I'm going to talk to you about CAPS services and how they might be of help to you when you're on campus. So with that, I will share my screen. All right, so Counseling and Psychological Services, also known as CAPS, is located in Russ Hall. So we are at the south end of campus on the first floor. Our hours are Monday through Friday. It says Thursday, my apologies. We are open Monday through Friday during the school year from 9 to 5, but during the summer, Monday to Thursday. So just to clarify, it is Monday to Thursday during the summer, but during the school year, we are open Monday through Friday. That is our phone number. If someone needs emergency services, so you are having, for example, a panic attack, or are with a friend who is experiencing a very distressing emotional challenge, or someone might be thinking of self-harm, that is when we don't want you to wait to call us the next day to engage. We want you to use our after-hour services so that you can get immediate assistance. It's the same number you call to make an appointment or to discuss CAPS services. The only difference is that you would press option 2. You would not be speaking with a CAPS clinician, but you would be speaking with a licensed mental health professional. We work with a group that has licensed mental health therapists who are on call when we are not in the office. So after 5 o'clock through the next business day, you're able to reach someone who can help walk you through that crisis. This service is also available during holidays when we may not be in the office and on the weekends. We will also follow up with every student who calls after hours. So while you'll be speaking to a licensed mental health professional, we always make sure that a CAPS clinician follows up with you as well to see if there's anything additional we may be able to help with and help connect you to services. All right, here is a recent picture of our CAPS staff. So we're quite a large and diverse staff. We have different areas of specialties. We each run groups and run different types of groups. And so when students are making an appointment, they can, if the issue is around, for example, alcohol use or grief, we do have clinicians that you can request. As long as they're available, we would try our best to meet those requests. Some students might want to work with a clinician of color or a clinician of a certain gender identity. And so again, we try our best to honor any specific requests students may have, as long as we're able to. So that's just a little bit about our CAPS staff. All right, so the different services that we provide. Certainly mental health services, right, for all enrolled Montclair students. Our services are all confidential. And so that means we do not disclose any information you share with us outside of CAPS. This is a law that we adhere to as mental health professionals. There are 3 exceptions to confidentiality, and that would be any intention of self-harm, any intention of harming someone else, or if there were child or elder abuse that we suspected. That's when we may need to make a report because we are mandated abuse reporters. Outside of those 3 situations, though, we keep your confidence. So that means we do not disclose any information you share with us to professors or to parents, to advisors, unless you specifically sign a consent form giving us permission to do so. Some of you might be 18 already. Some of you may still be 17. We might even have some students who are 16. So as long as you are 16 years of age or older in the state of New Jersey, you can access mental health services without parental permission. So that's something else we want students to know, that you can access our services without needing parental permission. We also provide a lot of workshops like tonight and presentations to promote the services that we offer. We participate in campus events, again, to help promote our services and get the word out, and we work with faculty and staff. So you might be wondering what brings students into CAPS. Oops, I went too far ahead. What I want to say here is we all have a mental health, and there's a large spectrum of how we all engage with our own mental health. We see students who are experiencing serious anxiety. It's one of the top reasons students come in. We see students who are experiencing depression. And then the third top reason students come in are because they're experiencing family challenges. Even within those three top reasons, there's a range. Some students might be experiencing mild anxiety. Some students might be experiencing severe depression. So there's a range, and we see students all within that range. There might be some other students who are experiencing challenges with the transition from high school to college. And that I want you all to keep in mind. It's a normal challenge. Transitions can be difficult. However, if it's a month, 2 months in, and you're finding it really hard to adjust, so finding it hard to make friends, not doing well in your classes, this is absolutely a time and a reason to see us so that we can help support you. And the earlier that students contact us and get support, the better the outcome, right? Because now we can offer you support, we can connect you to other resources. But when students wait until, the last 2 weeks of the semester, it's a lot harder to have a more successful intervention. Okay, so it doesn't have to be that you have a history of anxiety or a mental health condition. It could be a hard time adjusting to college. It could be family challenges at home. Students come to us after experiencing a significant loss. It could be that you're having trouble getting along with your roommate and want to learn communication skills. So there's a full range. If you're not sure, then give us a call and we can help walk you through it and help also connect you to our different services. So I'll talk about that in a second. Because we know students have a wide range of mental health needs, we really try our best to meet them in different ways, right? So one is by engaging in individual formal counseling. And so that requires that students conduct an intake first. You just call us, we get an intake scheduled. Intakes are 30 minutes and they're held by Zoom. And from there, clinicians will be able to let you know about our services. Our individual counseling services, and these are just the services I'll go over in more detail. Our individual counseling services are short-term. So we see students for an average of 6 sessions. And this really is because we have about 20 or 22,000 students on campus. And so a shorter term model allows us to see as many students as possible. You do not need to pay for services. They are already covered or paid for in your student health fee. So you pay that fee, and that covers all services offered through CAPS for your entire time here. We do not ask any information about insurance. So that's our individual short term. And sessions are once a week, about 45 minutes. Now, we also offer group therapy. So again, maybe you are having a hard time adjusting from high school to college, may not want to engage in individual therapy, or maybe you have already an off-campus therapist. So what additional services can you access? So that's where groups may be helpful. We've got two types of groups: drop-in groups, which don't require a commitment. So you come as needed, although of course, the more often you come, the more likely you'll benefit from the service. And here's a sample of just some of our drop-in groups we've hosted this past semester that will also be continuing this fall. So we've got coping, where different coping skills are reviewed, ways to manage stress. We have a group for students who identify as male. We have a group called health issues for students who are experiencing a range of health issues. We also have our therapy groups, which are more structured. They do require that students commit to attending for the full semester. One of our popular therapy groups is Understanding Self and Others. And that's when students really work on exploring their relationship with themselves and with others. Challenges making relationships, for example, are discussed. And so again, for students who are looking for services but may be already engaged with an individual therapist off campus, or may not, looking for something additional, groups can play a role. We also have a new group that will be continuing this fall called Meaning After Loss. And that is for students who have experienced parental or parental figure loss. And at the end, if anybody has any group-specific questions, I'd be more than happy to answer. But this is just a sample of what we offer. We've got another service, which is wonderful, called Let's Talk. So Let's Talk is a confidential service, just as all of our services are. It is informal, so you do not need to make an appointment. With, for example, engaging in individual therapy, you need to, make a formal appointment first, conduct an intake. With the Let's Talk, you do not need to call us first. You do not need to complete an intake. You just walk into the Let's Talk site. In the summer, we scale down quite a bit because we don't have as many students on campus. So these are our summer Let's Talk hours. But in the fall and in the spring semesters, we offer 9 Let's Talks throughout the week. And with the Let's Talk, they're essentially our walk-in hours. So students will often ask, do you have walk-in hours, times when, we allow for students to come in without a scheduled appointment? So this is it. The only difference is we're walking to you. So Let's Talk never happens at CAPS. We are literally trying to meet students where they're at to increase access and make it as easy for students as possible to access a CAPS clinician. Let's Talk sessions are brief. They're about 10 to 15 minutes. And the purpose really is to help a student who might be experiencing, for example, a really challenging day, just got into an argument with a roommate and wants to talk about it, or wants to know, different communication skills they can use to, talk it through with their roommate. It could be you had a bad day because you didn't do well on an exam and just want to process how you're feeling or something going on at home. So again, not everyone may necessarily need individual counseling, and we recognize that. And so we offer, again, a variety of services to meet the different needs of students. We have for the fall semester a site in the library. We have 3 in the student center. We will have a new one in Panzer, which is the athletic center, and other places on campus. And all the Let's Talk Fall sites will be updated well before the semester starts. So you all will be able to access that information. So again, I want you all to really think of CAPS services as really helping to support the mental health of students, and not when something is, quote, wrong, but really when you're experiencing some type of an emotional discomfort, or are in a place where you want additional support, okay? And we also will be offering at least 1 session by Zoom as well. So again, we're trying to really meet students where they're at. We also have a lovely group every year of mental health ambassadors. So this is a picture of our most recent cohort that got trained earlier this month. So we have 9 new ambassadors and 4 ambassadors who are returning from the previous year. And they are students who really help promote our services. We like to be out as much as possible, but it's not always possible for the clinicians. So this is an additional way to help with messaging, help with promotion of services. And the truth is, we, like a lot of colleges, recognize that students want to hear from fellow students, right? You want to hear from your peers. And we truly believe in using a peer model in addition to, having CAPS clinicians promote services. So you will see our ambassadors around the campus. They help us with workshops. They help us with presentations. Every month we host at least 1 DIY event. Just to give you a sample of some upcoming events for the fall, we will have in September an ambassador meet and greet, which we'll do with health promotion. So you'll be able to stop by, get some cool CAPS swag. We will also have in the month of September a decorate your own journal, and ambassadors will be facilitating a discussion focused on just the adjustment again in that first month, facilitate a conversation around any challenges that are coming up for students in that first month. It's a great way our particularly smaller events that we host in our outreach space, not at CAPS, but in the student center. It's really just a wonderful opportunity to connect with the ambassadors and other students, and get to, meet new people and have some fun. We host for De-Stress Week, which is the week before finals in December, a mindfulness event in the art gallery that's on campus. And it's always a really beautiful and lovely event. I encourage you all to attend. We do depression screenings in the month of October. So a lot. All of the events we host are on our Instagram page and Facebook. So that is our Instagram information. Information is also distributed in a newsletter called Wellness News. I encourage you all to read it. It goes out twice a week. So different ways of getting information out. If anyone wants to be an ambassador, applications typically go out in February, and then are reviewed in the month of March And April, May is typically when we interview students and make selections. So keep that in mind if it's something you may be interested in for the spring. If you are also interested in volunteering, but aren't able to make the commitment to being an ambassador or want to get started this fall, because again, our applications don't go out until the spring, a great group to connect with is Active Minds. And you can find them on the website. And they do a lot of wonderful work on campus, and we also do partner with them as well. And then just to provide you with some additional resources. So there might be some students who need longer term therapy. And there are two ways to access longer term therapy. So we've got a new partnership through a state grant with an organization called UWIL. So UWIL provides teletherapy specifically. So no in-person therapy, but online. However, it is long-term, so you will get more than 6 sessions as long as there's need. And it is free. You do not need to use insurance. It is confidential and is, again, in line with that New Jersey law that allows those who are 16 and older to access services without parental permission. So you can access services confidentially. We actually don't even on our end know details of, a student's, let's say, counseling history with whoever they work with at UWIL. We know how many students are engaging with UWIL, but we won't see, for example, your notes with your UWIL therapist. We have this service through April 1st of next year. You do not need to go through CAPS to sign up. It is available on our website, all the login information. So you can, and you need to access UWIL by going onto the CAPS website. However, again, you don't need to go through a CAPS clinician or go through our office. Just go to our website and students are able to sign up from there. You get to select what time you like to see the clinician, what background, you prefer for the clinician to have. So, are you seeking someone who has experience with anxiety, for example? So that is UWIL. There may be some other students, again, want longer term services, but are looking to be seen in person. We do have an off-campus referral coordinator who helps connect students to off-campus referrals. Typically for that, you are going to be using health insurance, right? Or paying out of pocket. So it's a different process. We know it can be overwhelming. And so we have a dedicated staff member to help students navigate that process. So you've got that option for long-term, using your own health insurance, meeting with someone in person, or again, UWIL, which is telehealth based, no insurance, is free and confidential. Okay, emergency resources, we are getting to the end, and then again, I'll open it up for Q&A. Already talked about protocol. If you are ever concerned about a classmate, a roommate, or a friend, aren't sure how to talk to them, or again, just concerned, you have talked to them, they're not seeming receptive, you can submit a report to the care team. So you can go to the Montclair website and type in student of concern form. So it's a form that you'd fill out. You'd give, the student's name, information about what you're concerned about, and then someone from the care team will follow up. The care team consists of counseling and psychological services. So my department, CAPS, the health center, the dean's office. So it's basically an alert system with different departments who are able to come together to then reach out to those students, get them connected to resources. If there's an emergency, then that's when we want you to call the police. So if a friend is saying something really distressing and it's an immediate concern, right? That's not a time to submit a care report because the care report might not be read right away, or a student may not be contacted for, a week or two. So that would be the police. It could also be protocol. And then for concerns related to sexual assault, discriminatory behavior, that would be Dean Alvarez. One thing to know about Dean Alvarez's office, so she's the Title IX coordinator, and all other staff on campus, is that they are not confidential. So if someone discloses a sexual assault, for example, to a professor, that professor has to report it to Dean Alvarez. If you come to CAPS, we do not report that information. So if a friend has a concern or you have a concern and you're not sure how to move forward, we recommend that you would come to CAPS and we could help walk you through the process of, what would be best and what will make sense for you in terms of reporting. So just wanted to let you all know about that difference again between our office confidentiality and all other offices on campus, minus the health center, which is also confidential in the same way we are, and then clergy staff on campus. These are just additional resources, so not CAPS based, but nationwide, so 988, some of you may know already, and if not, now you'll know. 988 is essentially now the 911 of mental health, so you can call to access services. There's also different ways now, which is one of the beauties, I guess, right, of technology. You can also reach someone by text and have a text conversation if you don't want to talk on the phone. That would be the crisis text line. And then there's also Trevor, the Trevor Lifeline, for those who identify as being part of the LGBTQ community and want someone who is also of the LGBTQ community. And then Steve, the right hand lower side, would be for students who want to connect with a crisis support counselor who identifies as being a person of color. Okay. All right. So with that, I will stop sharing my screen and open it up for questions. I'm just going to give you all the ability to talk.
Hello?
Yes, Isabel.
Oh, well, my name's Andrea. I'm just using another
Okay.
Yeah. So I heard like the program for like the therapy whole talk thing could be ending around August, or was it October? I'm not sure. Is it still gonna like
will? For the You Will service?
I'm not sure which one it was.
So it must have been You Will. That's the telehealth-based service that we have a contract with through the state of New Jersey. We have that contract through, it's April of next year, April 1st of next year. We hope it will be extended, but right now the date we have the contract through is through April 1st of next year.
All right. Thank you so much.
Of course. I hope everyone has a wonderful summer and a great fall semester. And welcome again to Montclair State University.